Okay, same day. I haven't gone outside yet. I'm wrapping this up, and my youngest daughter, Tisha, is going to put it in the mail because she's got to go to work in a little while. So I want to pack this up, and she's going to put it in the mail for me. So anyway, this is what's going. 40 Lucky Charms. I wiped them down with a little bit of coconut oil. Right? That's for the back to school event. Right? And then here's this information here. I found a copy of the Constitution. And then I'm going to give her a copy of my most recent income statement in terms of 2014. Because that's the last time I've done any kind of anything. Right? Just so she can see long term what she's going to be helping to develop if she chooses to help me. So in the meantime, we've got the do-rags. Oops, sorry. Where are they? They're in the bag, 2 of them, and the 3 rave straps. The 2 hats, the 2 G-Kids hats. And then I said I was going to send her son, who I think is about 13 years old, some black walnut ink. Here's an extra couple, right, for somebody else. And it's powdered, right? It's art supplies. And then, and I can do this, I've already cleared it with customs, right? I've already sent 1 package out to Ohio. And plus I gave that young man up in, where was it? Powell River or someplace, with the cell phone, with the dad, a box full too, right? He was a young man as well. So anyway, these are, you know, he needs to know what he's working with. Like I said, Andre's starting a walnut grove. One day he'll have a walnut grove. So the more people we can encourage to love the walnuts, the black walnuts, and the English walnuts, and want to plant groves themselves and utilize the natural resources that come from these trees, then this is one reason why I do what I do, right? So anyway, you can see I put a hole in there so he can make himself a little mobile or a necklace or whatever he wants. Here's a couple of other things. And if you notice, I'm including the wood, right? So you can feel it and you can look at it and you can, you know, it's nice. So he knows, right, what he's working with, right? This is, you can't just give him this and say, here, you give him this too, so he can really get the feel for what it is. And he can make his mom something, right? Or whoever, and himself. So that's what I'm sending out now that it's there. There's some more. Those are the ones Andre and I got the other day. We went today. The fence is starting to go up, people. The fence is starting to go up. So I don't know what's going to happen with this year's black walnuts and English walnuts, because they're fencing up that property, and it just, anyway, I don't want to get into that. So I'm going to put this in the box and get it ready for the mail. Hold on. So far so good, fitting nice in the box. I have some bubble wrap around. I'll just put a little bit of bubble wrap in there, and I'm not writing a letter. I already left her a message that we'll chat after the fact. Right, I'll just put a note that you look online, or I'll just let her know on her chat. Her son can just look online. This right here is 1 tablespoon to 9 tablespoons of water. Boil it, right, and then after that, give it a strain, and then you take 9 parts to 1 part rubbing alcohol, and that will help to prevent it, and that helps with the ink, right, to prevent it from... You have to put the rubbing alcohol into it, right, in order to, set the ink, but the ink would set on its own anyway, but black walnut tends to have its own fungi, right, so you gotta have the rubbing alcohol. Some people use vodka, but whatever. The young man can look online. So hold on. Okay, as you can see, same day, and the gang stalking is still occurring, people. It's been occurring ever since Uncle John disappeared. Somebody doesn't want to be exposed for what happened to him, how it happened, and ultimately why it happened. Okay? That's why we have that smear campaign on GMOI, which didn't get into full gear until after Uncle John went missing. But personally, I think they started the thread a little sooner because they were trying to figure out how they could sabotage the nonprofit. Because if you notice, they're not using my name, they're using my trademark based on the YouTube channel. But this is a direct attack against me, people. 8 views, going to Florida, ex-solution under a revolution, and they want to sabotage it. Okay, people, same day. So that stuff is in the mail now. This is from my neighbors, right? Obviously, I'm going to need this stuff, people. Right? I just haven't had a chance to put it away yet. These are for these little pegboards. Right? Again, paint and stain and stuff. So I'm pretty tired. I'm just not feeling very good. Like, seriously, I have to pace myself, right? So here's that tarp paper. You can see it's a brand new roll, right? So anyway, I'm not stressing out today, okay? This is where I got to get up into, okay? Do you see that? It leaks really bad when it rains, and then the water starts to pool, right? So this is, you know, it's a concern for me. It's dangerous, right? And then what's happening, can you hear it? It gets so heavy, and then every now and then it falls, and all this crap just gets over everything. So I'm going to be pulling out everything from this side. Everybody just chucked it over there. Like I said, we were going to have a little yard sale. But you know what, people? I'm so stressed out with everything. I think tomorrow, I'm going to start tomorrow, right? I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get into this cupboard, and I'm going to, there's a baby toilet seat there. So my daughter is pregnant. So I'll take that out of the bag. I'm going to take what I want to keep for my new grandson coming, because she's having a little boy. The stuff that I don't want, I'm not even going to worry about a yard sale at this point. I'm just going to put it out in the road and people can just take it. Okay? This here, I don't really want to give it away, right? Because again, I'm having another grandchild and I kind of like it. So what I think I'm going to do is, starting tomorrow in the morning, is I'm just going to get into this corner here. I'm going to pull everything out. I'm going to go through what I want and what I don't want. What I don't want, I'm just going to put out in the road. I've done that before. People will take what they want. And then what doesn't go, if it's, you know, if it's whatever, I'll donate it to someplace else, right? Okay? Paint, I'm going to check the paints tomorrow. Like I said, my neighbors gave this specifically. They knew it was paint, right? It was in their shed. And I'm going to just pull them out, check them, try them with the paintbrush. Obviously, this can't be painted until we wash it. That's a lot of work, people. But I'm going to clear out this corner in here. I'm going to clear out this corner in here so that I can get up in there and start figuring out how to do this, right? At least something, I don't know. And then I'm going to take some of these things and I'm going to put them in there, tarp them up, so that I can move, I guess, some of this other stuff over there, right? And fix my water hose, because I have to put a little attachment on so that I can actually get in here with the full length of the water hose. Start washing this down, getting it ready for paint. I will check the paint tomorrow. Right? Continue washing. My hose wouldn't reach that far. That's why I have to put on an attachment. After it's all said and done, I got an old carpet that I'm going to be carpeting this up so it's not so dusty. Right? Continue to look for these things. Fill it up tight so no rats nest underneath it. And then I'm going to board it up. Right? Probably leave that as is, maybe just level it out and put a carpet on it, a couple of carpets, which will be fine, right? And then, but I'll have to put wood in here somehow and board it up, right? And as I'm doing that, I'll make a space in my inside to move the wall unit. And my middle daughter is moving out, which is fine with me. I think it's good for her to try it on her own, right? Because then when the dishes start piling up and she's got nobody to blame but herself, that will be fine. She can figure it out on her own, just like I have to figure out this stuff. Hold on. So anyway, I am just going to go upstairs, and I bought some ground chicken for my grandson because I mailed out that box today, people, to Florida. And I'm going to just make some burgers and that type of thing and boil some potatoes. And I seen beans are growing, and get a couple of cucumbers, and I'm just going to prepare food for tomorrow so that when I'm out here, I can eat and he can eat, and I can just work all day. I'll start early in the morning, and this is the corner I'm starting in. I'm pulling it out. I'm bringing it out. I'm going to start sorting it into what I want, what I don't want. And as I'm clearing out in here, I will check the paint. I will start washing. And as this is emptying out, I'll take some of these toys, put them in here temporarily, right? And then try and move some of this other stuff down this way so that it's not so whatever, right? And then I'm just going to work all week. That's what I'm going to do. I mean, I can't go every day hardcore because I'm not feeling that great. There's only, a 100-pound woman, 99-pound woman can only do so much in a day, right? I'm not that strong, right? This stuff here, like I said, I've got that one piece of wood that's almost perfect for this. So I've got a template so I can do that, but I can't do any of that until I clear out this stuff. So tomorrow we know what the game plan is, and now I'm just going to go and make some food, continue doing my laundry, and get ready for the grody job, because this is a grody job, people. This up here is going to be a grody job, but it has to be done because I'm really kind of concerned. I have to fix that leak with or without my landlady, because I'm really concerned that the water, my son is having a problem with the light in his room, and there's an outlet that's going to need to be changed. I mean, you can see, right? So if this part, this here could be shorting out in his room, the light, right, fixture, and you can see it's still damp. So this is like mold and stuff. So I don't know. I got a hazmat suit with masks and all that. I don't know, if I tear it down, landlady will get mad. But I have to do something, because it's just, even if I go from there and do that part, right? Because it will fall down anyway. You can see it falls down anyway. So we'll have to get on to the leak. That's what we got to do. I got to fix that post where it's leaking, and it's leaking this way, and it's leaking into my shed and creating 10 times more work, because everything just gets sopping fucking wet. And then you get people coming in here mad, just trashing things around, tossing things around, right? And then, saying everything in here is my fault. Now, I don't know what's in that bag. I'm talking nice blackberries, but you can see, like I said, there's Andre's toity seat. So that I'll for sure keep for my grandson, new one. And then since my daughter's moving, she can take that with her on the 15th. And currently, I don't have plans to rent out her room, just because I don't need the drama of another person coming into the house with their issues. So I will use, hopefully, less hydro, and my hydro bill at least will go down. And we're just going to have to go into a low ebb and just ride the storm. Just ride the storm. Okay, and the last little note here. Do you see that? Those are beautiful, beautiful stamps. I'm a stamp collector. I don't get to buy stamps like this very often, so anyway, last time when I sent to Ohio, I couldn't afford to buy stamps for myself. It cost me like $60 or whatever it was to send the box that I sent to Ohio. This time around to Florida, it was only $45, so that's not too bad, right? And because I'm a stamp collector, I like to promote stamps. So I always make sure stamps are on the boxes, right? So this lady in Florida, she's gonna get a couple of those, right? And one or two of those. They had a bear, but an $8 bear, but they didn't have any more. So anyway, I just picked up that for myself, and I just put them away and never look at them again, only once in the blue moon. And then when I die, my children will inherit them. They'll inherit my stamp collection. So that's kind of like having that stuff, right? These things. I mean, obviously not every kid finds value in that, and I don't even know if my kids would understand what this means, because everything's so digital these days. The person working at the post office says, "Oh, well, I never see people do that." And I said, "Well, I do." Oops, sorry. I said, "I do." Aren't those beautiful? Those are beautiful stamps. You're not really supposed to touch them. Put your fingerprints on them, right? These are collector stamps.